Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Headed to prison, that's what the future holds for William Smith, the former CFO of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy. At today's sentencing, a judge decided he will spend 19 years in prison for embezzlement. Local 4's Will Jones has been following the case closely since it began. And Will, you caught up to Smith after today's hearing. What happened?
Well, Karen, he was quiet as he left the federal courthouse this afternoon as we peppered him with questions, but he did make some comments expressing his remorse. Smith pleaded guilty last year to wire fraud and money laundering. He used over $40 million from the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy to support a lavish lifestyle, including cruises, private jet travel, and designer clothing. Detroit Riverfront Conservancy Board Chairman Matt Cullen had some tough words for Smith in court without ever mentioning his name. He described him as a snake. The Conservancy wanted the maximum sentence of 20 years. The government pushed for 18. The judge decided on 19 years and ordered Smith to pay $48 million in restitution. We spoke with acting U.S. Attorney Julie Beck about this sentence.
I could imagine walking into that room full of people that I had worked with and who trusted me. Would have been very, very difficult to face them. Hearing those victim impact statements, I'm sure, was sobering for him, as it should have been. And I'm sure listening to the judge's recitation of how his conduct impacted the community was likewise quite sobering for him.
Smith was able to remain out on bond. He will have to self-report to federal prison in the next 60 to 90 days. We'll have more on the statement Smith made in court coming up at 5, Karen.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, Will. The body of a missing Saginaw Township man has been found in Mexico after being swept out to sea. Alejandro Gonzalez disappeared off the coast of Cancun this past weekend. He was trying to save his friend from drowning. His family is now raising money to help with the expenses of bringing him home and also other costs as well. The 20-year-old worked as a barista over at Sips 476 in Saginaw and is known not only as a hardworking team member, but also as a dear friend, a son, and godson. We do have an update for you this afternoon from Dearborn Heights Police about a teen who went missing from a youth facility last month. Police say that 16-year-old Tasia Keaton was living with a 65-year-old man since March 17th. Keaton is safe this afternoon after officers found her in that man's apartment at Warren and Inkster. He is currently in custody. Police note the man spoke to officers about Keaton's disappearance previously and then denied having any knowledge about her location.
Our detectives from Dearborn Heights went out to that location in search for her, and were canvassing the area, interviewing different businesses and talking to different people and trying to find out had anybody seen Tasia. He is one of the individuals that we did speak to at the time who denied seeing her.
Police say they will submit the case to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for numerous charges. Health officials say a second measles case has been confirmed out of Ingham County, Michigan. A 1-year-old boy tested positive after being exposed to a previous case involving a 1-year-old girl. Health officials say the boy was vaccinated, had mild symptoms. The risk to the community is low due to early isolation. The exposure site was Lansing Urgent Care. That was April 15th. Officials stressed the importance of vaccinations to reduce severity and spread. Oh, it's a great time to be a Detroit sports fan. Tigers having a strong start to the season. Of course, it is the draft tonight for the Lions. And, of course, the Pistons have created a level of excitement for basketball really the city hasn't seen in nearly 2 decades. Hobie Artigue is here now, but headed to LC in just a matter of moments.
Yeah, but we've kind of been in the middle of it all right now because the Tigers playing so well. But looking at this Pistons team, whenever they last had a playoff game at LCA, that was back in 2019, but that's when they were playing the Milwaukee Bucks. That really wasn't the same series. Now they're playing the Knicks, a series that's tied up 1-1. And home court advantage at this point in the series is very pivotal. But they proved themselves in Game 2 while they were in New York, holding off a fourth-quarter push in a game that really was all about physicality and grit. And J.B. Bickerstaff said that his team will be ready for that style tonight and for all the other games that are to come.
There's a level of physicality that the playoffs brings, and there's always been that, you know, and again, it's the teams that can survive it are the teams that are going to end up winning in the end. And, you know, again, I think our guys have done a great job of maintaining their composure.
Do what we do, play Pistons basketball, and that's playing hard as hell every night, being physical, being scrappy, playing with a sense of urgency and grit.
They have played like that all season, so I think that is the expectation again tonight. One question to monitor going into this game, Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
He missed game 2. He is questionable for game 3. We'll find out officially if he is playing or not. Coming up with a final injury report at 5:30. We'll have more from LCA on that whenever it is time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we got the players with the grit. We got the crowd with the grit.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And that's
yeah.
right. So we should bring in Joel Sebastianelli. He's live from outside of LCA. All right, we see the tents. We see people starting to kind of arrive. What's the feel out there, Joel?
Gates are open. I love what you said about the excitement and the grit of these fans, because some of them at Little Caesars Arena don't have tickets. I talked to one on the way in here who said, I just want to watch the game on the big screen up here. So you can do that, but if you're able to get down here for FanFest, there's some pretty cool stuff too. Take a look at some of the giveaways they have. Everybody's going to get a Pistons bag. You've got some sunglasses, some koozies in here, a couple of pins with Cade Cunningham as well. And all these booths are local artists, local little bit of everything. You even got local coffee on the other side. You can come over here to Debbie and Dana, get yourself a Detroit basketball airbrushed tattoo. Or how about an airbrushed shirt? You may recognize the designs that people have around here. Freddie, who is the artist, worked with the Pistons on 3-1-3 day, and he is going to work right now for all these fans with some custom Pistons designs. Some of the fans we're going to have here, we're told, are celebrities. Amon-Ra St. Brown is coming to the game. AJ Hinch told us the other day, basically all the Tigers are going to be here as well, since they don't have a game today. Everybody is fired up, and now that the doors are open here on the west side of LCA, I think the excitement with fans is certainly going to find its way right here, right now. That's all from me. We'll check back in a little bit later.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Joel. Appreciate it. And it is gorgeous out there. I mean, everyone is showing up at LCA. That is the place to be. We're going to bring in Ron right now just to talk about the forecast. As he said, a lot of folks are going to be watching the game on those big screens, and really, you couldn't have a better night.
You could not.
Feels like a summer night, not a spring night.
Yeah, we're in the 80s right now. It's still going to be very warm downtown Detroit and across Southeast Michigan. Karen, look at these numbers right now. We're all hovering right around 80 degrees. There's plenty of sunshine to go around in most areas. A few places leaning toward mostly cloudy, but it is gorgeous out there as you make your way home or to downtown to check out the Pistons. So we will have those temperatures stacking around the upper 70s, even as we get toward tip-off time. As people are walking to the arena, it's going to be right around 80 degrees. And then later on, as we're heading back home, or maybe you have some late evening activities, well, it's still going to be around the lower 70s, a very mild evening. So here's what we have ahead. We do have some showers that are going to hold off until tomorrow, even a couple of thunderstorms mixed in. This weather that we have right now, we are going to be seeing more of this, especially as we get into next week. So staying at or above normal. And then next week, we also have more rain chances in the forecast. But for this evening, things are going to be really nice out there. Karen?
World is remembering the life of Pope Francis following his passing earlier this week. Taking a live look right now at Vatican City. Thousands of people waiting in long lines to pay respects to the Pope. Pope Francis, in his final testament, said that he wished to be buried in a tomb in the ground of Rome's Basilica. Until then, the late pontiff will lie in state until his funeral on Saturday. If you would like to watch Saturday's funeral for Pope Francis, we are airing it in its entirety live on Local 4 and Local 4 Plus. That starts at 4 a.m. All right, in other news today, let's talk about the very latest presidential news. And we're going to go to that story right here. President Trump voicing his displeasure with the recent Russian strikes on Kyiv, calling on Putin to halt the attacks. The deadly assault killed at least 8 and injured over 70 as peace talks stall. In a post on Truth Social, the president saying, quote, not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done. End quote. Trump also criticized Ukrainian President Zelensky, accusing Zelensky of prolonging the conflict. President Trump is headed to Michigan next week to mark his first 100 days in office. He'll be over in Macomb County, a key area that helped secure his 2024 victory over Kamala Harris. Now, this will be his first time back in the state since taking office. Trump won Michigan by over 80,000 votes last November, reclaiming the state after losing it back in 2020. No other specific details about the event yet, including the time, the venue, or public availability of tickets are available, but of course, we'll keep you posted.